Mr. Bennett has had an incredible impact on my life as a teacher and as a mentor.
Of all the lessons that I've learned from Mr. Bennett, the greatest one is this: anyone can sing. He had kids from all walks of life in his ensembles. I remember him getting kids who were in lunch attentions and ISS regularly and singing and dancing in show choir the following week. These kids would end up being leaders in our ensembles, leads in our musical, and leaders in our community.
Mr. Bennett provided so many opportunities for me and my classmates that were invaluable.
What's more important is how he cares about his students and how he cares about the community.
One great memory that I have from our time together would be when Mr. Bennett got his students to go down to the soup kitchen on Christmas Day to perform for people in the community while they enjoyed their meal. All the faces lit up while we sang, and so many people were grateful for that experience. Many people came up to us afterwards and said it was one of their best Christmases.
I'm speaking from personal experience. When I was 16, I suffered a huge family tragedy, and Mr. Bennett was one of the first people at my house to offer support for my family, and that hasn't stopped. We've had a fair share of tragedies in our community, amongst our school community, and he is one of the first people to jump into action. And as amazing as his musical abilities and his music education abilities are, he is a profound human who cares, and people know he cares and know they can rely on him, and that to me is the most important part of this.
Hey everyone, my name is Aaron Tveit, and I have had the great pleasure for knowing Greg Bennett for almost 25 years. I first met Greg as a incoming freshman to Middletown High School. I auditioned for the chamber choir, the select choir in the high school, and I was put in as a freshman, which at the time was a big thing. And I first got to see kind of how Greg goes above and beyond the call of duty as a school teacher. He is one of those unique educators that truly has the student's best interest in mind, at times going out of his own pocket to provide for the people around him, picking up where people can't necessarily support themselves. And I just saw countless examples of Greg going above and beyond his call of duty to help those who really needed it. And that went for everyone in his classroom, everyone in the surrounding school, and people's families in the community. So he really is that special educator that just goes above and beyond. And for me personally, I have to say, I went into that chorus room as a kid who always liked to sing. I played instruments my whole life, but it's not something that I ever took seriously. And for whatever reason, Greg saw something in me that really pushed me to think about myself differently and think that I had a real talent that could be cultivated. And frankly, he's the one who kind of sat me down before my junior year of high school and said, you should think about taking this seriously and start taking voice lessons and preparing yourself. And that was just something that was not on my radar at all. And it was the thing that I needed, the spark that I needed to push me in that direction. And then once that started to happen for me, the whole world opened up. All these doors opened up. So I truly don't think that I'd be where I am today if it weren't for Greg.
Now that I'm a high school choral director myself, I take all the things that Mr. Bennett has taught me and can share that with my students.
I couldn't recommend anybody except Greg Bennett for this Grammy.
Simply put, Mr. Bennett is truly deserving of this award because every person who crosses his path changes and grows for the better.
He's the best.
Love you, Mr. Bennett.